Hello friends, as I discussed in the last class, we introduced microorganisms. So today what we will be going across is friendly microorganisms. We are talking about friendly microorganisms. Okay, so friendly microorganisms, they are used to make cake, they are used to make bread or curd. Okay, we also have talked about rhizobium, the microorganisms for improving the soil fertility. Okay, so these are various microorganisms. So microorganisms, fermentation, how to produce alcohol. So these are also microorganisms that do. Even cleaning up of the environment, like the peels, vegetable peels, the animal, the feces, when it is kept, the formation of humus that you say is because of the microorganisms. Okay, the dead and decaying materials, these microorganisms will feed on this dead and decaying materials and will convert this complex carbohydrates to the simpler carbohydrates, which can be taken up by the plants. So thus we can have it as very useful microorganism. Okay, then we are coming to the formation of curd, formation of or making of curd. So we have studied this already. So curd contains several microorganisms, and the name of the microorganisms that help in the formation of curd is lactobacillus. The particular microorganism is known as lactobacillus. It multiplies in milk and converts it into curd. Now bacteria is also used for making cheese, pickles and many other food items. So an important ingredient of rava or suji, idli and bhatura in curd is curd. So when you make any idli, you require curd. You make bhatura, chola bhatura. Then this, for making this bhatura also you need curd. Okay, so all these things. So curd, so this, what this bacteria or yeast will do, it will go into the fermentation of rice and idlis. That is why you will have small bubbles. You will find small bubbles that is coming up. So here if you see, you add some amount, so you will have that fluffy, when you knead the dough will become fluffy and it will just swell up. Okay, so that is basically because of the microorganisms which is undergoing fermentation. So yeast reproduces rapidly and produces carbon dioxide during respiration. Now bubbles of gas fill the dough and increase its volume. This is the basis of the use of yeast in baking industry for making breads, pastries and cakes. So you will have, when you take the cake is very soft. That is because of the usage of yeast. Now we also have commercial use of microorganisms. What do you mean by commercial use? What is meant for selling, by which you earn money in a large scale. So that is production of alcohol. Wine, acetic acid, so they cannot be consumed directly but will be used for making some other things that can be consumed. Okay, yeast is used for commercial production of alcohol and wine. For this purpose, yeast is grown as natural sugars present in grains like barley, wheat, rice, crushed fruit juice, etc. Okay, so that is why it is there. So yeast is a very useful use for commercial production of alcohol and wine. Okay, so you have an experiment. If you take 500 ml of beaker, fill it up with 3/4 of water and dissolve 2 or 3 tablespoons of sugar and add half a spoon of yeast powder to the sugar, keep it covered in a warm place for 4 to 5 hours. You can get a smell. Okay, there is a sweet smell that will be coming, and that is the smell of alcohol as sugar, and it has been converted into alcohol by yeast. Okay, sugar is converted into alcohol by yeast. This process of conversion of sugar into alcohol is known as fermentation. So fermentation basically occurs when sugar is converted into alcohol and there is a production of carbon dioxide. Okay, so this formation, that is known as fermentation. Okay, and Louis Pasteur discovered fermentation in year 1857. Microorganisms are also used in medicines. We have told how it is used in our day-to-day life, microorganisms, for making batura, for making cakes and all those things. We also understood what is the commercial use of microorganisms. Next, we are coming to the medicinal use of microorganisms. So now the microorganisms, there are some antibiotic tablets that you find, capsules or injections such as penicillin is also there. So these sources of medicines are microorganisms. The medicines will kill or stop the growth of the disease causing organisms. Such medicines are called as antibiotics. So which stops or which ceases the growth of any particular disease causing microorganisms is antibiotic, and the source of antibiotic is again microorganism. So it is in the same place, it is acting as a friend as well as a foe, because the microorganism who is causing the disease is a foe for us, whereas the antibiotic is a friend for us. These days, a number of antibiotics are being produced from bacteria and fungi. Streptomycin, tetracycline and erythromycin are some of the examples of them. Okay, so if I go back to 1929, we have this particular scientist who is known as Alexander Fleming. He was once working on a bacterial culture. Okay, culture of disease causing bacteria, and suddenly he found some spores, some growth of little green moles in one of the culture plates. So there are agar plates basically wherein we find the growth of culture, we find the growth of organisms. So he suddenly found there was some sprouting of little green mold. He observed that the presence of mold that prevented the bacteria to grow. In fact, it also killed many bacteria. So he found that mold was very useful, so that there was no growth of bacteria, the disease causing bacteria. From these he prepared the very well known antibiotic drug, that is penicillin. So herein the antibiotics are manufactured by growing specific microorganisms and used to cure a variety of diseases. Antibiotics are even mixed with the livestock and poultry, the feed of the livestock and poultry, to see that they do not get any diseases. They are also used to control many plant diseases. So antibiotics do not only cure the diseases which are related to human beings or us, it also is mixed with the feed of the livestock like cattle, like cows, or the poultry, the hens are there. So they also cure the diseases that there is, and we also spray various kind or it also controls the plants from getting diseases. Okay, next we also have vaccines. Vaccines are also made from microorganisms. So when we are small, you remember when we were very small, or we go to a doctor who are child specialist, so we see the small infant, few months babies gets injected by some vaccines, okay, and they cry. So Why are we vaccinated? We are vaccinated so that we do not get the disease, or we are prevented from getting the particular disease, like polio. It's very commonly said, "Do boond zindagi ka." So our very famous actor comes up, Amitabh Bachchan comes up, and Amitabh ji says, "Do boond zindagi ka." So there are so many actors who are giving this advertisement about polio, or awareness advertisement about polio drops. So it fights against the polio virus. So when a disease carrying microbe enters our body, the body produces antibodies to fight the disease causing microorganisms. Okay, now the body will also remember that this particular organism had entered and I had fought against. So the body is getting more mightier. Okay, it's getting mightier to fight against that particular disease. If the dead or weakened microbes are introduced into healthy body, so if there is a dead microbe which is introduced into the healthy body, say dead or killed polio virus has entered into a healthy body, so what will happen? The body will start producing antibodies against this antigen. So the one which is entering is called as antigen, and the one which is fighting against this antigen is known as antibody. So the antibodies will start combating or fighting against the disease causing killed virus that has been entered in the form of vaccine. Vaccines are nothing but killed virus. Okay, so that once it enters, the body will start producing antibodies. Now once they start producing antibodies, what will happen? The antibodies will remain in the body and we will be protected. So we will be protected from the particular disease. Now if the particular disease, the virus causing the particular disease is entering into our body, then these antibodies are very much ready or trained to fight against this particular disease, and thus we do not get, or we are avoided to get the particular disease. We are vaccinated. That is when we say vaccinated. The vaccine was discovered by Edward Jenner in year 1798. The vaccine was against the disease smallpox. Okay, so earlier there was a very very common disease. This is a smallpox. So he found this particular vaccine for the disease of smallpox, and he injected this vaccine into a little boy who was very much free from getting the particular disease. In your childhood, you must have been given injections to protect yourself against several diseases. Okay, now it is essential to protect all children against diseases. Necessary vaccines are available in nearby hospitals. You might have seen advertisement on TV also for pulse polio, as I was saying. A worldwide campaign against smallpox has finally led to its eradication. There is no more smallpox that you find here. These days, vaccines are made on large scale from microorganisms to protect humans and other animals from several diseases. So we have already seen that microorganisms had been useful for the household purpose, that is for making cakes, breads, and all these things. We also have seen how it has been used for the commercial purpose. Commercial purpose is for making wine, alcohol, and all those things. We also have seen that how microorganisms is being used for vaccine and also medicine. Okay, next we will be going ahead. Now the bacteria or microorganisms also improve soil fertility. So this soil fertility, it can improve. So there are some bacteria, as I said about the bacteria rhizobium. So they fix nitrogen from the atmosphere to enrich soil with nitrogen, and it will increase the soil fertility. So these microbes are known as biological nitrogen fixers. So we have cyanobacteria, blue-green algae. Okay, now changing the environment. We saw how it improves soil fertility. Now changing the environment, or cleaning the environment, I should say. So now cleaning the environment, whenever you dispose your waste in the garden, or whenever you dispose your waste, you will find after few days that it has grown into a powdery, black powdery material. Okay, so that is known as humus or manure. So this, from the plant waste, when it gets converted into manure, this is done by microorganisms. They feed on this waste and they convert it into manure. Okay, and now what happens is the nutrients released in this process can be used by the plants again. So now the plants can grow very well. Okay, you often see large amount of dead organic matters in the form of decaying plants and sometimes dead animals on the ground. You find they disappear after some time. This is because microorganisms decompose dead organic waste of plants and animals, converting them into simple substances. These substances are again used by other plants and animals. Thus, microorganisms can be used to degrade the harmful and smelly substances and thereby clean up the environment. Just to revise on, I will tell you, we studied today about useful microorganisms. So, microorganisms are useful for making cakes, wines, etc. They can be used for commercial purpose like production of wine, alcohol, etc. Okay, then again these microorganisms can be used as medicines like antibiotics, tetracycline, streptomycin, etc. Also, these microorganisms can be used as virus, for example poliovirus. Okay, and then we saw how microorganisms improve soil fertility, and lastly we saw how microorganisms can clean the environment. So these are 6 different areas that microorganisms can work on. Okay, thank you.